My name is Rebecca Bell. I never thought I'd face death at 33. As a trauma nurse in Seattle, I'd seen death many times, but experiencing it myself changed everything I believed about life, death, and what comes next. I always considered myself rational, grounded in science and facts. Before this, I thought near-death experiences were hallucinations from a dying brain. But what happened to me felt more real than anything I've ever known, changing my view of existence itself. It started on a quiet Tuesday morning at Harborview Medical Center. The emergency department was unusually calm, like the quiet before a storm. I had been working since 6 a.m. Around 10:30, I was checking on a teenage patient with a broken arm. The steady beeping of monitors and sunlight streaming through windows made everything feel routine and safe. Then it happened. Without warning, it felt like my chest was being crushed in a vice. The pain was unbearable, sharp, and overwhelming. I reached for the wall to steady myself, but my hand never made it. The last thing I heard was my patient screaming for help as I collapsed. Everything went black. Later, I learned I had suffered a massive pulmonary embolism. A blood clot had traveled to my lungs. Doctors said it was caused by an undiagnosed clotting disorder I'd had since birth. I was clinically dead for nearly 5 minutes. But in those minutes, I experienced something eternal that would forever change how I understood life and death. The first thing I remember after the darkness was the sensation of floating. I looked down and saw my body on the hospital floor, surrounded by chaos. My co-workers, people I had worked with for years, were fighting to save me. Dr. Martinez, our chief of emergency medicine, was performing chest compressions, his usual calm replaced with intense focus. Sarah, my best friend and fellow nurse, was preparing the defibrillator. Her hands were steady, but tears streaked her face. I wanted to tell them I was okay, that the crushing pain was gone, and I felt an unexplainable peace. But I couldn't communicate. I could only watch as they worked on my lifeless body, calling out terms I'd used countless times myself. Clear. Push 1 of epi. What struck me most was the absence of fear. I wasn't afraid, even as I saw my lifeless body. Instead, I felt a deep peace, as if all the stress and anxiety of life had dissolved. I felt I was exactly where I was meant to be. Then, I was pulled away, drawn into a tunnel of light. The movement was fast but felt natural. The light grew brighter, yet it didn't hurt my eyes. It felt warm and welcoming, like coming home after a long journey. As I moved through the light, my consciousness expanded. My thoughts became sharper, clearer. I understood things that had once puzzled me, as if a fog had been lifted. When I emerged, I found myself in a realm beyond words. Colors I'd never seen before filled the space, and the air itself seemed alive with music. A harmony so beautiful, it brought tears, though I no longer had a physical body. I existed as pure awareness, free of pain or limitation. Then, I saw him. Jesus. He didn't look like the depictions I had seen in art, but there was no mistaking who he was. His presence was unlike anything I had ever experienced. He radiated love that was so pure and so powerful, it felt like it surrounded and filled me at the same time. It was overwhelming yet comforting, as though I had always known this love. His light was brighter than anything I could imagine, yet it didn't hurt my eyes or make me look away. Instead, it felt warm, welcoming, and alive, as if the light itself carried his essence. His eyes were what truly captivated me. They held all the wisdom of the universe, as if he had seen and understood everything that ever was and ever would be. Yet within that vast wisdom, there was also infinite compassion. When he looked at me, it was as though he saw every part of me, my struggles, my fears, my flaws. And still, I felt completely accepted and deeply loved. It was a love that made me feel whole, in a way I had never known before. "Rebecca," he said. But it wasn't a voice like we hear on Earth. It was more like a thought, clear clear and direct, entering my very being. "There's something you need to see." With a simple wave of his hand, the space around us changed completely. I was no longer where I had been. Instead, I was standing in the presence of truths that revealed what happens to souls after death, truths that completely shattered everything I thought I knew. He explained we were in the third heaven, a realm beyond physical laws. It wasn't the final heaven, but a transitional place for healing and preparation. It was vast, existing in dimensions I couldn't comprehend, with areas overlapping and interweaving. Jesus called it a divine way station, where souls come immediately after death. He showed me sections of this realm, each serving a purpose for the souls within them. In one area, called the Gardens of Peace, I saw souls bathed in golden light. They appeared to be resting deeply, meditating, or reflecting on the beauty around them. The landscape itself responded to their thoughts and emotions, shifting colors and patterns. "These are the souls who lived lives of love and service," Jesus explained. "They rest here, growing in understanding and peace as they await the final resurrection." What I saw challenged everything I believed about death. It wasn't an end, but a transformation, a beginning of something far greater. Earthly lives marked by kindness, compassion, and a desire to help others reflect in the afterlife, where souls experience the rewards of their goodness. These souls glow with an inner light, but some shine brighter than others. Jesus explained that the brightness shows how much they allowed divine love to flow through them during their earthly lives. Even now, their light grows stronger as they deepen their connection to divine love. Then, Jesus led me to the halls of learning, a space where souls actively engage in divine growth. It looked like vast amphitheaters of light, where newly arrived souls worked with advanced beings who radiated wisdom and compassion. Here, I saw souls participating in life reviews. These were not for judgment, but for learning. Each soul could see their earthly actions, not only from their perspective, but also through the eyes of everyone their actions affected. Every kind word, every selfless act rippled through the cosmos as light, touching countless lives. I watched a soul reviewing a simple moment of giving money to a homeless person. This small act restored the recipient's faith in humanity, leading them to rebuild their life and help others. The ripple effects of this one act influenced hundreds of lives. Conversely, I saw a soul reviewing a moment of anger toward their child. They felt the child's pain and saw how it shaped their future relationships and self-worth. Yet even these difficult moments were surrounded by love and understanding. The advanced beings helped the soul learn, heal, and take steps to mend what was broken. In another part of the realm, I saw souls working together to help those still on earth. These are what we often call guardian angels, Jesus explained. Many were souls who chose to stay in this realm to guide and protect living people. I recognized my grandmother among them. She looked vibrant and full of life, just as I remembered her at her best. She smiled at me, and in that moment, I understood how she had been guiding our family since her passing. I saw her comforting my mother during her illness, standing by my brother during his wedding, and even guiding my hands during challenging moments in the emergency room. She spoke to me through thought and emotion, her message clear and full of warmth. Every prayer is heard, and every moment of need is known. We cannot always stop difficulties because challenges are necessary for growth, but we can always send love, strength, and guidance. Her words resonated deeply within me, filling me with a sense of reassurance. Then, Jesus led me to something extraordinary: the healing chambers. These were not physical places, but states of being, spaces where souls with deep wounds, trauma, anger, fear, underwent profound and transformative healing. Souls that carried burdens from their earthly lives were embraced here in an atmosphere of pure compassion. Surrounding these souls were beings of light, radiant and serene, offering unconditional love and support. Jesus explained the purpose of this realm. No soul is beyond redemption. Even those who lived in darkness can be transformed. Love is the most powerful force in existence, and it has the ability to heal anything, no matter how deep the wound. I could see the truth in his words as I watched these beings of light tirelessly care for the souls in need. The process of healing was profound. I saw souls being guided to face the truth of their past actions. They felt the pain they had caused others, but they were never alone in this journey. Divine love surrounded them, providing a sense of safety and understanding. For some, healing came through a deep awareness of the ripple effects of their choices. They saw not just the harm they had caused, but also the potential for change. For others, the path to healing began with reconnecting to the love they had long denied or forgotten. Still, there were those whose first step was to heal the trauma they carried within themselves before they could even begin to address the harm they had caused others. In this realm, communication was unlike anything on earth. There were no words, no need for speech. Everything was shared through pure thought and emotion, a direct, honest exchange of feelings and understanding. I witnessed beautiful reunions between souls who had once been family. These moments were filled with such deep love and joy that they transcended anything I had ever seen or imagined. Even souls who had been enemies on earth found reconciliation here. They came to understand the higher purpose behind their earthly conflicts, seeing how those struggles had contributed to their growth and understanding. This realm was a place of pure truth. Lies and deceptions had no place here. They simply couldn't exist. Everything was laid bare, but always within the embrace of love and understanding. It was a space where souls could confront their deepest truths without fear, knowing they were supported. Jesus explained to me that time in this realm didn't function the way it does on earth. What felt like centuries of healing and growth here might only be moments in earthly time. Every soul progresses at its own pace, he said, and there is no rush. Each journey is unique and unfolds exactly as it needs to. As I continued to explore this incredible realm, Jesus showed me the most advanced souls, beings who had achieved a level of understanding and love that was beyond words. These souls worked with pure energy, participating in what Jesus called the divine act of creation. They were co-creators, assisting in the design of new worlds, guiding the evolution of planets, and shaping realities. Their work was breathtaking to witness. Jesus explained, "Earth is just one school in a vast universe of learning. There are countless realms, each with its own purpose. Every soul moves through these realms, learning and growing at its own pace. The complexity and beauty of this interconnected system were beyond anything I could have imagined. It wasn't chaotic, but perfectly orchestrated, with love and growth at its center. The awe and love that filled this realm were indescribable. It wasn't an ending, it was a continuation, a place where growth, healing, and love expanded infinitely, without limits or boundaries. This was the essence of existence, a journey of constant transformation and connection. But then, Jesus showed me something that broke my heart. He led me to an area vastly different from the realms of light and love. It was a space where souls had chosen to remain in darkness. Unlike the other realms filled with warmth and hope, this place felt cold and isolated. There was a heaviness here, as if the air itself was weighed down by sorrow and despair. It was a stark contrast to everything I had seen before. "These souls," Jesus said, "have not yet chosen to accept love and healing. They are not ready." His voice was filled with compassion, not judgment. I could feel the profound sadness of this place, but also the infinite patience that surrounded it. He urged me to watch closely, and as I did, I saw beings of light surrounding the dark area. These beings were gentle and full of compassion. They continuously offered love to the souls within, never giving up. They didn't force change or pass judgment. Instead, they waited with infinite patience, radiating love and hope. Their presence was a testament to the enduring power of love. "This is what true divine love looks like," Jesus explained. "It never forces, never condemns, but it also never gives up. Every soul, no matter how lost, will eventually find its way back to love. It's not a matter of if, but when." The beings of light worked tirelessly, showing that love and redemption are always possible. Even in the darkest places, hope exists. These souls, though they had not yet chosen the path of healing, were not abandoned. They were surrounded by an unyielding love that would wait as long as it took for them to be ready. I couldn't help but feel a deep sense of compassion for these souls. Their journey was different, slower perhaps, but no less important. Every soul, Jesus reminded me, has its own pace. No one is beyond redemption, and no one is truly alone. As I reflected on everything I had seen, it became clear to me that Earth is just the beginning. What we experience here is only a fraction of the journey, a stepping stone to something far greater. The realms and dimensions where souls grow and evolve are vast and intricate, each serving a unique purpose in the grand design of existence. Love is at the center of it all. It is the force that drives growth, healing, and creation. It is the thread that connects every soul, every realm, and every moment of existence. Whether in the realms of light or the spaces of darkness, love remains constant, patiently waiting and guiding. This journey is not about perfection, but progress. It is about learning, growing, and choosing love again and again, no matter how difficult the path may seem. The beings of light and the advanced souls showed me that we are all connected, part of a greater whole. Every act of love we choose, no matter how small, ripples through the universe, creating waves of healing and transformation. The truth Jesus revealed to me is one of infinite hope and possibility. No matter where a soul begins, no matter the challenges it faces, the journey always leads back to love. This is the essence of existence, a journey toward unity, healing, and endless growth. And it is a journey we are all a part of, each of us playing a role in the grand design of creation. This is what true divine love looks like, Jesus said. It never forces, never condemns, but it also never gives up. Every soul, no matter how lost, will eventually find its way back to love. It's not a matter of if, but when. I could feel the profound truth in his words. There was no hopelessness in this realm, only the promise of redemption. Every soul, no matter how far it had wandered, still held the spark of divine love within it, a spark that could one day reignite. Then Jesus turned my attention to Earth and shared something vital about humanity's current state. Humanity is at a turning point, he said. The choices being made now will determine much about the future. But he reminded me of a truth that felt both freeing and daunting. Free will is absolute. The future is not set in stone. He showed me potential futures, each one the result of the collective choices humanity could make. Some of these futures were breathtakingly beautiful, beyond anything I could have imagined. In one vision, humanity had learned to live in harmony, not just with each other, but also with nature. Technology was used wisely, benefiting all people rather than a select few. Love and wisdom guided decisions, creating a world filled with peace, innovation, and kindness. But in other visions, I saw what could happen if humanity's choices were driven by fear, greed, and division. These potential futures were dark and filled with suffering. Conflict, environmental destruction, and widespread despair dominated the world. It was painful to witness, but Jesus' presence remained steady, reminding me that these futures were not inevitable. The key, he said, is love. Not just abstract love, but love in action. Every act of kindness, every moment of forgiveness, every decision to choose peace over conflict shapes not only the individual soul, but the collective destiny of humanity. Love in action is the force that can transform even the darkest path into light. Then, Jesus showed me something that filled me with awe: the interconnected web of all existence. I could see how every soul was connected to every other soul, how every action sent ripples across the entire universe. Love was the binding force, the thread that held everything together. This is why forgiveness is so crucial, Jesus explained. When you forgive others, you are also healing yourself. And in doing so, you contribute to the healing of the entire universe. I watched as prayers and loving thoughts created patterns of light that radiated outward, touching the physical world. I saw people on earth praying for their loved ones, their intentions filled with hope and love. These prayers traveled as waves of light, and I could see how they were received by beings of light. Sometimes the answers came in ways people didn't expect, but no sincere prayer ever went unanswered. The energy of love and intention always found its way into the world. Then, Jesus told me it wasn't my time yet. "You have a mission," he said. "Tell them what you've seen. Tell them that death is not the end, that every soul continues its journey. Tell them that love is the most powerful force in existence and that no one is ever truly lost." Before I returned, Jesus shared a final truth with me, one that shook me to my very core. He said, "The greatest illusion is the illusion of separation. All souls, all beings, all of creation are connected in ways your earthly mind can barely comprehend. The love you give to others, you give to yourself. The harm you do to others, you do to yourself." His words carried a weight that went far beyond what I could immediately process. But in that moment, they became undeniable. I could see this truth as clearly as if it were etched into the fabric of existence. Every act of love sent waves of light rippling out into the universe. These waves didn't just stop at the person who received the love. They traveled further, touching everything they encountered. The light carried healing, joy, and peace, uplifting everything it touched. At the same time, I saw the opposite. Acts of hatred, anger, or fear created ripples of darkness. This darkness wasn't permanent, but it hung heavy, waiting to be transformed by love. Jesus explained this process with compassion. "This is the great work of all souls," he said. "Learning to transform darkness into light, fear into love, and separation into unity." I realized that this work wasn't a burden, but a purpose. It was something each of us is called to do, moment by moment, through our choices and actions. Suddenly, I felt myself being pulled back. The light and warmth of that realm began to fade, and I could feel my connection to that divine space slipping away. The last thing I heard was Jesus' voice, clear and steady, speaking words that would stay with me forever. "Remember, love is not just a feeling, it's a choice. And it's a choice you must make again and again in every moment." With that, I gasped awake on the hospital floor. My colleagues were around me, their faces a mix of relief and shock. The defibrillator had just delivered its third shock, bringing me back. According to the medical records, I had been clinically dead for 4 minutes and 52 seconds. But in those minutes, I experienced an eternity of understanding and truth that would forever change my life. Since that day, I have not been the same. My fear of death is gone, replaced by a deeper love for life. I now see every person as a soul on a journey, deserving of love, patience, and understanding. I know our time on Earth is precious, offering us a unique opportunity to learn, grow, and contribute to the greater good in ways that cannot happen in other realms. Each moment, each interaction, holds the power to transform, and I strive to live with that awareness every day. My work as a nurse has taken on new meaning. When I look at patients now, I don't just see their physical bodies. I see their souls, bright, resilient, and beautiful, no matter what outer circumstances they face. I've come to understand that true healing involves not just the body, but the soul as well. Sometimes, I can even sense the presence of beings of light, guiding and comforting both patients and healthcare workers. The most important truth I've learned is this: death is not the end. The souls of those who have passed are not gone. They are more alive than ever, growing, learning, healing, and helping to shape the future of existence. The love that connects all souls never dies. It only grows stronger as we progress through the different realms of existence. I share this story not to convince anyone of a particular belief, but to offer hope and understanding about the journey we are all on. Whether or not you believe my experience, I hope you take this truth to heart. Love is the force that moves the universe. Every act of love, no matter how small, ripples through eternity, shaping not only your own journey, but also the journey of all creation. The souls who have passed are not resting idly. They are part of a grand process of growth, healing, and creation. One day, we will all understand this truth for ourselves. Until then, our task is simple but profound: to love more deeply, forgive more freely, and live more fully. Every choice we make shapes not only our own path, but also the path of the entire universe. Together, through love, we create a brighter future for all. My work as a nurse has taken on a whole new meaning since my experience. When I look at patients now, I no longer see just their physical bodies, the injuries they carry, or the illnesses they face. Instead, I see their souls, bright, beautiful, and resilient, shining through, no matter what their outer circumstances might be. Each soul tells a story of strength, struggle, and potential. I have come to understand that true healing doesn't just involve the body, it also involves the soul. Every wound on the body is connected to emotions, experiences, and deeper parts of a person's journey. Sometimes when the environment is calm and conditions feel just right, I can sense something extraordinary. It's as if invisible beings of light are present in the room, surrounding and guiding both patients and healthcare workers. These beings seem to emanate peace and reassurance, as though reminding everyone involved that no one is truly alone. They aren't something I can see with my eyes, but their presence feels unmistakable. A gentle, supportive energy that comforts and heals. It's as though these beings are there to bridge the gap between our world and the spiritual realms, providing strength when it is most needed. The most important truth I've come to understand is this: what people who have passed on are doing right now is far more beautiful and purposeful than most of us can imagine. They are not simply resting in peace, as many of us often say. They are actively growing, learning, healing, and even contributing to the future of existence. Death is not an end. It is a transition to a higher, more meaningful state of being. And the love that connects all souls never dies. It only becomes stronger as we continue to progress through the many realms of existence. This truth gives me hope and a profound sense of purpose. The souls we think of as gone are, in fact, more alive than ever before. They are engaged in a grand process of cosmic evolution, a journey that transcends anything our earthly minds can fully comprehend. They are learning new truths, discovering deeper dimensions of love, and even helping to guide and shape the experiences of those of us still here on Earth. It's a collaboration between realms, a partnership rooted in love and unity. I share this story not to push anyone toward a specific religious belief or perspective. My goal is not to convince, but to offer hope and understanding about the journey we are all on. Whether or not you believe my experience, I hope you can take something meaningful from it. There is one truth I know with all my heart. Love is the force that moves the universe. Every act of love, no matter how small or seemingly insignificant, ripples through eternity. These acts touch not only those around us, but also the very fabric of existence itself. This understanding has transformed how I see life and death. The dead are not gone. They are participating in something far greater than we can imagine. They are active, purposeful, and deeply connected to us. From our earthly perspective, it might seem like they are lost to us, but the reality is the opposite. They are more alive, more present than ever. They are part of a cosmic dance of growth, healing, and creation, one that we will all one day join. In this grand process, love is the common thread that binds everything together. The love we feel for others, the love we express through kindness and compassion, doesn't just disappear. It becomes a part of this universal movement, strengthening the connections between souls and fueling the evolution of all existence. Love is the energy that powers everything, the light that drives out darkness, the force that heals wounds, and the glue that holds the universe together. Every act of love we choose to make matters, whether it's a kind word to someone in need, a moment of forgiveness when we could hold on to anger, or a simple gesture of care for a stranger. These acts create ripples that extend far beyond what we can see. They uplift not only our souls, but also the souls of those we touch, creating a chain reaction of healing and light that echoes through time and space. I've also learned that forgiveness is a crucial part of this process. When we forgive, we release ourselves and others from the chains of pain and resentment. Forgiveness is not just for the benefit of the person we forgive, it's for our own healing as well. It clears space in our hearts for more love to flow, more connections to form, and more growth to occur. One day, we will all understand this truth for ourselves. We will see how every choice we made, every act of love we offered, every moment of forgiveness we embraced shaped not only our own journey, but the journey of all creation. Until that day, our task is both simple and profound: to learn to love more deeply, to forgive more readily, and to live more fully. Living fully means embracing the present moment, cherishing the time we have, and using it wisely. It means recognizing that each interaction, no matter how small, carries the potential for transformation. It means seeing others not as separate from us, but as fellow souls on the same journey, each deserving of love and understanding. Our choices matter, not just for ourselves, but for the whole of existence. The decisions we make ripple outward, shaping the collective journey of all souls. When we choose love over fear, kindness over anger, and forgiveness over resentment, we contribute to the healing and growth of the entire universe. This perspective has completely changed how I approach my work as a nurse. When I care for patients, I no longer focus solely on their physical needs. I try to understand the deeper story, their fears, their hopes, and the light within them that might be struggling to shine. I see my role not just as a healer of bodies, but as someone who can help guide souls toward peace and comfort, even in their most vulnerable moments. Sometimes, in those quiet moments with patients, I feel the presence of something greater. It's as if the beings of light I experienced during my near-death experience are there, offering their gentle support. They remind me that none of us are alone, even in our darkest times. They remind me that love is always present, even when it feels far away. I share this story because I believe it can bring hope to others. Whether you're facing loss, fear, or uncertainty, know that you are not alone. The love that connects us to one another and to the universe is eternal. It never fades, never weakens, and never lets go. It carries us through every challenge, every transition, and every moment of growth. The journey of the soul is vast and beautiful, filled with opportunities to learn, grow, and love. While we are here on Earth, we have a unique chance to shape our souls and the world around us through our choices. Each act of love we choose adds light to the universe. Each moment of forgiveness we offer heals wounds we may never see. And each time we choose to live fully, we honor the incredible gift of existence. The dead are not gone. They are more alive than we can imagine, participating in a grand process of evolution and creation that continues beyond this life. One day, we will join them, and we will understand the fullness of this truth. Until that time, let us commit ourselves to the simple but profound task of loving, forgiving, and living with purpose, knowing that every choice we make shapes not just our own journey but the journey of all creation.